We begin the chase here, in Manildra. Located around halfway between Orange and Parkes, Manildra is home to 822 people and the oldest continually operating cinema in Australia, the Amuse You Theatre, operating since 1936. The name Manildra is taken from an Indigenous Australian word meaning winding river, likely referring to Mandadgery Creek, and the town is home to the largest wheat mill in the Southern Hemisphere, by which it is dominated. Operating since 1952, this is now the largest industrial wheat exporter in Australia, with the Manildra Group, wonder where they got that name, exporting its produce to the world. Now, thank you very much for listening. Elvis has entered the building. Since 2003, a special train has made the round trip between Sydney and Parkes nearly every January for the Parkes Elvis Festival. Dubbed the Elvis Express, it has traditionally been operated by an XPT set. The first trains were standard XPTs with no external alterations to suggest this was a special working. Later trains, especially following the application of the second CountryLink paint scheme, would carry nose and often side decorations. Aside from some irregular workings, the Elvis Express would be the only times an XPT ran on the Broken Hill line, albeit only a small part of it. The train was a frequent sellout and would grow so popular that in the years up to 2017 it ran with 8 carriages including 2 buffet cars, the longest passenger carrying XPTs to date. In these instances, the XPT set would be borrowed from the Dubbo service, with an Explorer standing in whilst the train stabled in Parkes for the duration of the festival. In 2018 though, Lachlan Valley Railway began operating the Blue Suede Express, using heritage locomotives, both its own and those from other owners, and heritage rolling stock. The Elvis Express remained, albeit now considerably shortened to just 4 or 5 carriages, again using the Central West XPT consist and stabling in Parkes, whilst an Explorer stood in for the usual Dubbo service. Lachlan Valley Railway's trains, sometimes operated in conjunction with Vintage Rail Journeys, would run on and off for the next few years, with no trains at all in 2021 owing to that rather unpleasant pandemic. Due to the damage from the Gospers Mountain bushfire, the trains would run via the main South and Stocking Bingle to Parkes lines instead of the Great Western in January 2020, to date the only instance of this happening. From 2022 onwards, the Dubbo XPT would be replaced by coaches between Orange and Dubbo on the Thursday and Monday the Elvis Express was to run, as the previously spare Explorer set was now needed for an additional Griffith service. This train would no longer stable in Parkes, being required to run the Central West XPT between Sydney and Dubbo whilst the festival was on, decorations and all. This film, as you've no doubt guessed, shows the 2025 eastbound Elvis Express at 7 locations between Manildra and Blackheath, of which we have visited 2, running under the head codes of Whiskey Tango 46 from Parkes to Orange East Fork and Whiskey Tango 48 thereafter. This is possibly the longest chase, in terms of distance covered, that I will ever undertake. We cover a good 264 kilometres of track, resuming here at Millthorpe.